I was happy to see DJ Daryl in it. So
Come on. Love DJ Daryl.
So it's interesting when I put Murder Rap out, I think the first person from Tupac's orbit that reached out to me when the film came out was DJ Daryl.
Whoa.
He had watched the movie, and I think he found me on Facebook or got my email somehow, and he reached out and we had a conversation. We've been in touch off and on ever since. But he told me, I'll say this in vague terms because it's his story to tell, but this was years and years before Murder Rap ever came out, before Greg's book ever came out. He said he came into contact with the Southside Crip. And everybody was telling, yo, you worked with Tupac, you got to talk to this guy. And it was some random Southside Crip, and he goes, this Crip told me the story. Well, I'm going to tell you what happened to Tupac and how he got killed. And so DJ Daryl listened to the story and was like, okay. He goes, and I didn't give much else thought to it until I watched your film. And he goes, the story Keffe told was the exact same story that this Southside Crip had told me years and years earlier. Wow. And that's how he goes, I watched your movie and I knew immediately it's the truth.
Yeah. People love sexy. Don't you think? Like, people love sexy murders. People love conspiracy theories. They just do. And I understand it. I guess I do too. People love that stuff. And it is not a sexy, his death is actually not sexy at all. If anything, it's sadly impulsive and dumb. I mean, one person after another, one thing everyone agreed on is that was the dumbest shit ever. Like, why are you, I know the thing is he was super impulsive. And he also was kind of a warrior. Like, he didn't hold back, so he wasn't going to hold back here. But like, you're the meal ticket. You know what I mean? Like, you're the guy, the last guy who's supposed to punch a gangbanger in the middle of a casino floor. Like,
and you're out on bail.
What?
And you're out on bail.
And you're out on bail. Right, he would have gone back to prison. Like, it's crazy. I mean, if they had been caught, but who the hell knows? But like, yeah. I mean, it was on security footage, for sure. It doesn't make any sense. It's just impulsive, erratic, and everyone wants to, oh, it was this guy, it was that guy, it was really Suge, it was really, like,
it was the feds, it was the CIA, it was, you know what I mean?
My favorite is it was Suge, right? Yeah, what a great idea. You're gonna be sitting next to the guy as he's shot, and you're just gonna take your chance, you're gonna be okay.
Only someone who doesn't know how bullets work would think that. I mean, Suge is twice the size of Tupac, and you're like, I want you to shoot this guy up and make sure I'm the backstop to all of these rounds being fired when it happens.
And the other one that, I don't know how you feel about this, you hear the like, well, Puffy paid them, promised them, blah, 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 money. And someone said to me, no actual gangbanger with any kind of professionalism or level of it would just take someone at their word that they're going to give them $1 million. Like, you're taking half of that money before you do it. You're not just going to be like, oh, that sounds great. I'll kill him Thursday. Yeah, that's great. It's just not a thing. It's not how it works. In the same way, there's a moment when Tupac, you probably know about this, he beat up the limo driver outside of In Living Color. He beat up a limo driver. And
because they were smoking weed inside the car.
They were smoking weed inside the car. Yeah. The guy got mad at him. And I spoke to someone who's like, if Tupac and these guys were real gangbangers, they would know that's not actually how you do it. What you do is you slip the guy some money and you say, can we smoke now? Is this okay now? Right. They just like, it's just like, I didn't know anything about this world. I still know only this much about this world. But I am pretty well versed that like, you wouldn't do something that big without having money in your hand. Just on a promissory, hey man, can you kill him? That'd be great. All right, you'll pay me the money? Yeah, I'll get it to you. Like, that doesn't, Tupac, when he was, even when he went to Quad and he was recording a verse for Lil Sean, like, he was in contact with James Rosemond. And at one point, Rosemond's like, I don't have your money. He's like, well, then I'm not coming. Okay, we'll get your money. Like, you're not gonna perform something without getting paid, just on the hope that you get it one day, especially murder. I mean, that'd be insane. Because even if you're a gangbanger, and even if you're like, a crazy gangbanger, you know the odds you're going to prison for this are nothing.
Right.
You know?
It's high-profile murder.
High-profile murder. I'll just do it for free on a promise. Okay. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. The only thing, I have a theory that I won't go into too much, but just there's the Zip Martin factor of it all and him being there that night, and I think that he may have had a pretty big influence on how they reacted that night. And when I talked to Mob James, he said, we got when the fight happened, they let us know. Because Mob was working the door at Club 662 that night. He's part of security. Yeah. And and it was just to let everybody know, look out for Crips tonight. There might be a fight at the club. Someone might show up and there might be a brawl. Just be on the lookout for them, that kind of thing. And he said that to come back and shoot somebody for what happened was just overkill. And my thing always was, well, if there was the belief that they might also be able to collect on something.
Yeah.
And you got Orlando Anderson supposedly fired up, and wanting to go. And I know you talked to his friend that said he wasn't a killer.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
objectively, we know he was a killer. He literally took two guys out with him when he died.
Yeah.
And there's multiple other stories about
Sure.
him being suspected of other.
Sure.
Albert Webb, there was another guy that another gang member. But I was super stoked to see DJ get some flowers.
Oh yeah. I mean, D, he got his he produced a ton of the second album, and then it all got yanked away from him. So he kind of hates that album, you know? Yeah, because it was right after they recorded it, and then Cop Killer came out, and that caused a big uproar with I.C., and then they had to change the album. Yeah.
What do you think? I don't know if you have anything to add about this. What do you think about the upcoming trial, the Keffe D trial? It's happening in February, and it sounds like it's actually fine. It's been delayed a couple times. He keeps changing lawyers. I think now he's pretty locked in, and it's not. They're saying they're ready to go.
So I just don't think there's any resolution, because we've reached the point with Tupac where conspiracy theory mixes with logic, mixes with real life, mixes with fiction. And no matter what comes of it, there will be people who'd be like, oh no, he's in Cuba. He's in Cuba, what are you talking about? Oh no, he's working the grill at a Dairy Queen. I saw him the other day. You know, like, I just don't think it's gonna resolve anything. I just don't. I think at this point, it's not gonna resolve anything. I don't consider, I mean, Keffe D has to be the dumbest human being on the planet. Like spilling his beans in a book. Like, to make what? I mean, I'm an author, I'm not rich. Like, how much could you have possibly made for that? Right. And then doing some videos on I mean, it's just like, self-indictment doesn't seem like the best idea. I don't know. I'm kind of exhausted after all these years of Tupac. I could see paying minimal attention in a weird way. I don't know.
But I had a friend say, who's followed the case very close, he goes, anybody after watching his BET interview that still had a question about it, you're not going to be able to reason with them.
He's still alive. People have asked me in interviews, is he still alive?
People ask me that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for so many reasons, no.
What's he waiting for? What exactly is he waiting for the big comeback?
Exactly, yeah. And he's sitting there and watching his contemporaries like Snoop and Jay-Z and Puff become billionaires, literally billionaires.
Yeah, but he's in Cuba.
He's in Cuba just chilling on a beach. And also the guy, you made the best point, which this guy loved the spotlight.
Yeah.
And like that he could be silent.
I mean, it's not even worth addressing.
Decades.
It's so stupid.
It's silly
just stupid.
that he would sit there and not, all the stuff that has happened, he would not have something to say about it and wouldn't.
Correct.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And also just the logistics of faking a death.
It doesn't make sense. But I will tell you, Colonel Sanders is still alive, and so is Leonard Nimoy. I'm not going to tell you where, but they are. They have faked their death.
Are they
They're together in Cuba.
I saw it in the commercial, so it must be true.
Correct.